Hi, my name's Kylie Jean, and this training is on goal setting, your personal why, and your core values. This runs for about 20 minutes, and if you need to go grab a pen and paper, or better yet, grab the workbook that's somewhere around this video, it's probably below. It would be great if you had that workbook because it has a space for you to fill out your goals. It has a list of all the core values, and it has some groupings for those values. And it also has an action plan at the end. I want to make sure that you get the most out of this video, and you're more likely to do that if you take notes and have access to all the information that I'm supplying. So if you need to pause the video and go grab that workbook. A little bit about me, the very short version. I'm Australian. I have 3 girls that are nearly all teenagers now, one still in primary, and I was able to be a stay-at-home mum and only really had to return to a job part-time when my youngest started kindy, and I had to work some odd hours, and over the years it didn't get any better. I was still working at meal times, and I really found that it didn't line up with my core values, like putting my family first. And I needed to find a way to make money without compromising what was really most important to me. It was about this time that I found the company that I'm with now. I loved the products, and I thought I could really make this into something. As an introvert, some of the pushiness of other network marketing was a real turn-off. But this company didn't have the same approach to how they expect you to run your business. So this is the first in a series of 8 videos. This one is on goal setting, your why, and core values, but in upcoming trainings we'll have target audience and finding your ideal client, branding, how to brand yourself, sales and marketing, a roadmap and strategic planning, scaling and resourcing, systems and automation, and then finally a check through of what's working and reassessing. So grab your workbook and let's get into it. Okay, so goal setting. We're starting with goal setting first, so you've got an idea of where you're going and the target that you're trying to hit. You may have heard of this acronym before, SMART goals. So we want to make sure that the goal that we're setting today aligns with these 5 things. Is it specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and time-bound? Okay, so you should have this page in your workbook if you can turn to here. And I want to show you how to break down your goal into manageable chunks so that you know what actions you need to take and how to get you there. So this is a bit of strategy involved here. So in the first column, we're going to put in the goal. So that might be an amount of money you want to earn per month, or it might be the rank that you're trying to hit. If you've got your 5-year goal or your annual goal, you can put them on a separate page, but print out another one of these just so that you've got your monthly goal and what you need to do to achieve this month to make sure that you stay on track. So now we've got our rank or our amount that we're trying to achieve this month. What are the things that you need to do with your company to achieve this goal? So maybe there's an amount of points that you need in your team to achieve it. Maybe there's some personal points that you need to achieve, or maybe you even need to help somebody in your team reach a certain rank. So once you've defined all of these things, then we can move over to your core offer. So what is the thing that you're mainly selling? You might sell a whole lot of different products, but what is the core offer that you sell? Maybe it's a starter kit or something that helps people to join your team, or maybe it's a coaching product that you're offering. And I want you to write down there specifically how much that is. So how many points does that give you? How many dollars does that give you when you sell this product? And then you can very easily work out now, if you're selling this many products in a month, how many do you need to sell in order to achieve your goal? So we're going to put this number at the top here. So we've got 9. So now we know we need to sell 9 of these in order to achieve this rank or this sales goal. So now we've got in the bottom column a target audience. So now we're looking at how do we reach enough people to be able to sell 9 kits. So this is where we're starting to look at whether this is realistic. Are you able to reach enough people this month in order to sell this many kits? We'll get more into target audience and how to find people, who to find in the next training, but we'll just put this here for the moment. And lastly, we're going to work out what you are delivering to your customer or client. So I want you to put down here things that you might give alongside the kits that you're selling. So maybe it's a PDF on how to use something. Maybe it's some training that goes along with it. Maybe you're helping your team to achieve something. So whatever it is that you're delivering to your client, whether that be a customer or a team member. And then finally, we want to set a date on how long it's going to take us to achieve this goal. So if it's a 30, 60 or 90 day goal, we're going to write it down up here. And of course, if it is the 60 or 90 days, I want you to break it down a little bit more to make sure you know what you're doing this month to achieve this goal. Okay, so now we're moving on to something completely different. And we're getting into who you are, your why, and your core values. If you start your business to be true to your core values, you are going to be able to put your soul and your passion into your business, and it will attract people with the same values to connect with your vision. So we're going to have to do a little bit of soul searching, and we're going to have to make sure that you know who you are and what your why is in order to be able to connect with these people and to share your soul and passion with them. And so we'll have to find out what your core values are. So we're going to start with your why. And essentially there are different levels of why. Maybe you're at a stage where you just need money to survive, and that's a basic reason we all start to earn money. But then after that comes status. We're trying to get the best car, the best house, the latest phone, whatever. But then the reason we try to earn even more money is freedom. But this is where a lot of people stop advancing, stop trying to earn more money, because they haven't seen the greater purpose, the greater reason why you would need to earn more money. And the ultimate reason is time freedom. But what is this freedom for? What are you going to do with this time? How are you going to fill up your time? You're now free to fulfill your purpose. And that's your unique way of serving the community that only you can. And this is your ultimate why. I want you to think, if money was no longer the object, what would you do? And what are the things that you would do for free? These are the things that will help you to find your why. They are the core values at the heart of your personality that makes you who you are. And ultimately, there is one core value that will get you out of bed in the morning. And it's the reason you can do hard things. And you will instinctively choose this over any other goal that you set. So we need to make sure that your goals are in line with your core values. Because anything you choose that it doesn't line up will ultimately fall away. So what does starting with why mean? A lot of the time we start up our business and we're told at networking meetings to introduce yourself, tell us who you are and what you do. And sometimes you might even incorporate how you do it, but not a lot of people are ever adding in why you are doing something. But this is actually the best way to start. So you might ask me, what do I do? And I say, I sell natural products. It's not very inspiring. Unless I really like natural products, it's not going to really speak to me. And then if you ask me, how do you do it? And I tell you that I do workshops, or I sell online, or I do attraction marketing, they might be interesting to you if you're already looking into those things, but ultimately they don't really speak to people at the core of who they are. It's more on a logical headspace. And if I say my why, but I still put it in the wrong order, and I say I sell natural products because I believe they bring peace to every circumstance, still by starting with my what and my how, it doesn't really speak to people the same way. So it's very important that you start with why. So if I say I believe all people should live in peace, peace is one of my absolute core values, then when I start that way, people who resonate with that, people that want peace, will hear my message and they'll listen to every word I say after that. So when I say I sell natural products because I believe these products will bring peace to every circumstance, that means so much more, and it speaks to the core of that person. And then I can even go further to say I believe that stay-at-home mums can have peace in their life and spend time with their families and earn a passive income. This is much more credible and much more feeling based than saying join my team, I sell natural products, you can earn a passive income from home. It means nothing to people. Because people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And the goal is not to do business with everyone who has a heartbeat or even wants what you have. It's to do business with the people who believe what you believe. This is actually all based in biology, not psychology, and this is hardwired into your brain. If you're only using logic and reasoning to reach people or to get them to buy your product or service or to join your opportunity, you will get people who will say things like, I don't know, it just doesn't feel right. But if you're speaking from your why and they resonate with your why, they'll be more likely to say, yeah, it just feels right. Your values tell you who you can trust, who you respond to, and where you put your time and energy. They are your line in the sand and a guidance to you. This limbic brain is what's controlling decision making and behavior and not language, and that's why it's a gut feeling and people will just say yes when it doesn't make sense, or no when it doesn't make sense to them also. So you must make sure that you're speaking from your why. So your why is most probably one of your top core values. So we need to make sure that you know how to find them. So in the next couple of pages, and this is in your workbook, there's a list of all the core values. So if you can go through that and highlight from the list what things are important to you, you might end up with quite a lot. So in order to narrow them down a little bit, I'm going to get you to try to group them with the lists that are provided. And then try to narrow them down to 3 to 5. An easy way to do this is to prioritize them in order from most important to least, and then it'll probably just be the top 5 that are your most important core values. And then once you've got it down to about 5, I want you to write down next to each of them what they actually mean to you. Then you'll have to give it some time to settle and come back and review. I did this without a list, and the things that I wrote down were not really the things that were most important to me. In fact, I left off peace, which was my most important core value. But by having a list, it made it a little bit easier. But still, it took time for it to settle. So you might need to come back and review this in a couple of days or 30 days maybe. So I'll go on to the list in the next page, but if you've got your values, you can go through them, or you can just watch this video and do it in your own time when you've got a bit of quiet space for yourself. You will experience greater fulfillment when you live by your values. And when we don't honor our values, our mental, emotional, and physical state suffers. Goals are great, but if you're only going to be happy momentarily when you achieve your goal, you've missed out on so much in life. They are sacred truths that don't change. They influence every choice you make or don't make. If you know what they are, it will be easier for you to set boundaries, easier to make decisions, harder to compromise on your personal values, and you won't settle for less. And they will help you to see the gaps between where you are and where you want to be. So here we are on the last page, the action plan. So to make sure that you've got everything, we'll go back over it. Make sure you've set a goal and included a date. And to find your core values, you've gone through your list to highlight the core values and then grouping those core values. And then you've written down some priorities against those. And then that will help you to reduce them down to maybe 3 to 5. And once you've got that smaller list, you can define what those values actually mean to you, because what these mean will be different for each person. And then to set a date to review them. So maybe in a week or maybe in a month, to come back and just have another look at this and see if they still line up and they still are just as valuable to you. I had a situation where I'd written a value down as loyalty because I'd recently been hurt in that way, and it was very important to me at that time. And loyalty still is an important trait for me, but because that had just occurred, I'd put that right at the top of my list when peace was really my core value. So do set some time to come back and review it, because things do change. And lastly, to find your why, I want you to write a sentence about your why. So I believe that, I inspire people so that. So for me, I believe that people should live in peace, so I help them to start a business that aligns with their core values. So what you believe, or how you inspire, or how you whatever in your list, and how then you help other people with that value. Now, I hope you've had fun with today's training and you've got a lot of value out of it. And I hope to see you on the next training, which will be on target audience and how to find your ideal client. So I'll see you then. Bye.